Ricky,
Billy,
Julian,
Clyde,
Tyrone.
570,000. That's the number of people who die annually due to drug use. 40,000 of those people die from the use of illegal drugs. Teenagers are at a higher risk to abuse illegal drugs. Drug tests for athletes and students should be an important factor in keeping teens safe and healthy. Testing has been around for many years, many programs have been founded, and because of this, schools around the country should enforce testing for their athletes. Due to the war on drugs prior to the 1980s, schools did not have any drug testing systems or programs for any of their students or their athletes. Before the 1980s, citizens were not tested for drugs unless they were issued by the police with suspicion or if a person was serving time in prison. Because of the war on drugs, the Reagan administration proposed a drug testing program that would require companies to provide a drug-free environment. The result of this program was mandatory suspicionless drug testing in the workplace. The trend of drug testing would soon reach public high schools throughout the nation in a limited form. Finally, in the late 1980s, drug testing was introduced in public schools for the first time. The drug tests were issued randomly for students that participated in athletics for their schools. Because of the new suspicionless drug testing policy in schools, the Supreme Court was summoned to determine if this action was unconstitutional or not. There have been many Supreme Court cases that have questioned whether or not suspicionless drug testing is constitutional throughout the United States. Though there are no federal laws regarding school-based drug testing, there have been two Supreme Court case rulings that have stood out and that have had an impact on suspicionless drug testing of high school students and athletes. The two court cases rulings granted the public school systems the authority to conduct drug tests within reasonable circumstances. In 1995, the Supreme Court upheld suspicionless drug testing and declared that students' privacy rights were lower than those of adults. Due to this decision by the courts, the school system saw this as a green light for drug testing their students. Schools then tested students that participated in band and choir as a condition of eligibility. In 2002, the Supreme Court expanded the previous ruling made in 1995 to include students participating in competitive clubs could also be subject to random drug testing. The Supreme Court originally reasoned that athletes were being subjected to the test because they were role models within the school. With drug testing becoming more popular over the years, President George H.W. Bush decided he would help school systems out financially. When drug testing was found to be constitutional, President Bush established a federal funding program to help pay for the tests. Because the number of students being tested in numerous school districts were so high, the test cost so much, schools were relieved to have some assistance. Average drug tests cost between $38 and $42. Slowly, school districts around the country were starting to look into drug testing for student athletes. According to the National Center for Education Evaluation, by 2008, the popularity of drug testing had grown about 16%, which is about 2,000 school districts. They had adopted a form of drug testing. But as of today, federal funding programs for drug testing no longer exist, and schools are forced to pay for them with their own money. Schools have to find money in their budget to buy new tests or adapt new testing ideas. It's the job of every school administrator around the country to make sure their school is safe, healthy, and a supportive environment for every student. Instead of just trying to show students the effects of what drug use can cause, administrators should be testing students and athletes so that they can begin helping the student one-on-one. The Random Student Drug Testing, RSDT, program requires students that belong to sports teams or clubs to be tested at school. Many school districts should insert a program like RSDT to help be on the lookout for drug use in their schools. These programs have special protocols they will follow when testing students and when a student tests positive for drug use. The most popular form of drug testing is urinalysis. I'm sure you're all aware of that kind of test. Take a cup, fill it up. Students that participate in athletics who are subject to in-school drug tests report less substance use compared to students in schools without drug testing. The goal of mandatory drug testing programs are to reduce student substance use in 3 ways. Drug testing programs reduce substance use by deterring substance use, detecting substance use, and by having spillover effects on the other students in school. By having all school districts today insert drug testing programs, schools will be able to crack down on substance use and keep schools clean and students healthy throughout their lifetime. The goal of the programs are to find students who may have substance abuse problems and intervene early. Schools can make a difference in their students' lives if they can find successful programs and successfully finance and run their programs to help ensure healthy lives for their students and their athletes. Detecting the use of drugs and quickly intervening will help drug testing programs around the country put a stop to drug use. By making drug testing a mandatory procedure in high schools, this would prevent athletes and students from using and falling victim to the world of drugs. I hope you will now push to start trying to make a difference in your school.